Consumers want to know the facts about the products they buy, but America's agricultural landscape is not easy to navigate. Between different companies, scientific advancement, government regulations, advertisement campaigns, and an unhealthy amount of myth and misconception, anyone would be hard-pressed to make sense of it. That's where Real Ag comes in. Kyle Bauer and the Real Ag crew bring you truthful, unbiased information about real agricultural concerns. From the producers who make your food, to the store where you buy the final product, and everything in between. This is Real Ag. Now, here's your host, Kyle Bauer.
We've come a long way from the horse and the plow. Agriculture today employs many new exciting techniques. Farm technology is our topic today on Real Ag.
Production of Real Ag is made possible by
the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by farmers.
One of the most useful advances in recent years is GPS, or Global Positioning Systems. How does modern satellite technology help with agriculture? We traveled to Hays, Kansas to find out more.
Well, the very earliest machines would have been a horse and a plow, and then that developed into a tractor and some sort of plow, like a one-way. We use GPS in our sprayers, and we use GPS in a lot of tractors also. GPS is Global Positioning System. The signal we use is WAAS, which is Wide Area Augmentation System. Department of Defense has satellites floating around. They use for marine, auto industry, and now the agriculture industry uses it. It's very big in the aviation industry also. So it's used for many different industries. In a sprayer, the GPS would be used for pass going down the rows, and then it would also be used to run auto steers, auto booms, and auto boom shutoffs as a product control in that sprayer. In a tractor, you're going to see a GPS used, to drill and to plant corn, wheat, soybeans, any of the crops. They're going to use that GPS to plant with, put the seed in the ground. And it can be used for an array of different things, to spread dry fertilizer, to put liquid fertilizer down. There's multiple different uses that GPSs are used for at this time now. Putting the seed in the ground, being accurate, the more seed you use, the more overlap you have. Your population gets higher, you're probably not going to have as good of growth in that area if you have seed doubled up. Seed is, as anything in the industry, gas, diesel, seeds the same way, chemicals. We've seen an increase in pricing, so you want to be more accurate. So your bottom line, you're going to be more efficient, you're going to save yourself money. In a sprayer with the auto boom shutoff and running the GPS, you are going to save chemical. It's the name of the game. And we've seen increases in pricing on Roundup, 2,4-D, and Banville. Those are three commonly used herbicides that we see, and they all have had some sort of a little bit of price increase. So if the boom is shutting itself on and off, and you can keep yourself within a foot of the last row, so you don't have a lot of overlap, you're going to be more efficient. You're going to have a lot less chemical waste and a lot less overlap. So it pays for itself to have the auto boom shutoff and GPS. Over the X amount of years. Essentially, you go around your field a couple times, and it can do a last pass where it always follows the last pass. Then you can set an A and a B, and it will draw you a straight line through the field, and then it parallels that line. So you have a pass go down. You turn, you see pass 1, then you see pass 2, and you see pass 3. And you just follow the line up and down the field. It's a lot closer, more accurate type of system to run. It makes you much more efficient. On that GPS now, they keep adding on more technology. An auto boom would be one thing that's ran through that GPS. That wheel system is a ground following boom on this machine. They also run an auto steer, which the machine will steer itself. And then they would have a AccuBoom or some sort of auto boom shutoff. So the booms turn themselves on and off, actually a touch screen now. So it's similar to like a Garmin GPS that you'd buy at Walmart or an iPhone or a Droid. You touch that screen to make it run now. So, 20 years ago, if we were going out to run a sprayer. I mean, we'd have probably been lucky to have a dye marker, and the foam markers were just coming online. So the dye marker was just putting a trail of water, and you'd put a dye, like a red dye or a blue dye in it, to stain the stubble or stain the ground, so you had a reference point to go off of to turn around and come back. The foam markers, which we are manufacturers of foam markers, and we still do add foam markers to machines, they would actually drop a ball of foam about every 20 feet to 30 feet. It would drop a ball of foam, which it was good. I mean, foam would actually, it dissipates. In stubble, you could actually put dye with that foam, and it would give you also a reference point to go off of. Now you can use that foam reference point, and you can use the GPS to be very exact where you're at. And if you add an auto steer on top of that, I mean, you get very efficient.
Technology has made a huge impact on the livestock industry as well. Today we'll focus on the technology in the pork industry. We'll travel to Osborne Industries in Osborne, Kansas to find out more.
The main focus of our livestock technology is providing automated tools to the producers and to anybody in the livestock industry to help them become more efficient, provide a more consistent product in a means that is more acceptable to the public. What I mean by that is that there's a big concern around the world about the welfare of the animals, how the animals are being raised and that they're not being abused or anything. And so we provide tools that help the producers meet these desires by the public.
Going all the way back 25 years that Osborne Industries has been involved with swine production, the amount of technology that is being currently implemented in state-of-the-art production farms has grown steadily. 25 years ago there was very little to today, where farms are very specific with the technology that's being used, and it's being used basically all the way through the production operation of the farm, from the time that the animals are bred to when they give birth to the baby pigs, and as the baby pigs grow all the way up to the slaughter plant or to the food processing. One of the major problems that has been overcome with these technologies is the growth and size of production facilities of today. In previous years, in the 1980s and before, a lot of the pork or the swine were raised on smaller farms where independent producers managed their animals from an independent and individual perspective. So they knew everything about their animals and their production that was needed. But as the industry grew and the farms became larger, and there was more of a need for information and data from the production facility, it became evident that technology was, the application of technology was necessary for managing of this data and this information to make these large-scale farms more efficient and more productive. Managing one or two animals in a production facility, it's easy to know what you've done to them today and what you've done to them yesterday. When you end up with thousands of animals, you have to have an accurate record-keeping method to know where those animals are in their production lifestyle, their life cycle. And the technology that we implement allows the producers or the managers to understand where every animal is in its production cycle and even its location on these larger farms.
Technology has a place from the beginning through the end, all the way from producing or designing the seed stock, the genetics for the farms. We have equipment that helps be able to select for better genes, for producing more efficient, more consistent animals, higher quality animals. Then in the normal production facilities where you're producing for the commercial market, in those cases technology plays a role from beginning to end as well. That they're implementing the genetics that they purchase from the other companies, and then they're raising the pigs, keeping electronic records in some cases still paper records, but basically the records wind up in the computer so that they can trace all the details about the production and the life cycle of the animals.
You start with a female and then you breed that female. The female will have a gestation cycle of 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, at which the embryos inside the female are maturing to where they are ready to be farrowed. That female will be moved into what's called a farrowing area, and she is allowed to give birth to her baby pigs in what we call a litter. And as that litter grows, which they will be taken off of the mother somewhere between 14 and 21 days. And then those baby pigs are taken to what is called a nursery area. And then they are kept there for several weeks until they get large enough to be moved into a finishing area where they will typically be fed a diet such that they grow into market-sized animals over the course of several months. As more and more consumers want meat that is more lean, there's more meat and less fat, the technology is allowing the producers and the genetics companies to improve the way the animals grow and the nutrition that they take in so that it improves the animal carcass quality and processability from the production packaging point of view.
One of the desires is to produce the best quality animals who will perform well for their customers as well as in the marketplace producing quality meat. These companies look at many various factors, including how well does the animal perform physically? Is the animal put together well so that they can have a long life on the farms? They also look at the feed performance and the growth rate, how efficiently they gain weight, many details like this that will ultimately affect their customers, the swine production facilities, and that they will be able to produce the pigs for a lower cost, and then they will be able to pass that along to the consumers in the end. One of the ways in which technology has a role for the genetic selection is by measuring many different factors. One of these factors would be feed intake. How much does the animal eat each day? How much does it eat to gain a certain amount of weight? One of our systems, our feed intake recording equipment, this system feeds the animals as much as they want to eat each day and keeps a record of each meal, how much the animal has eaten, how much time it was in the equipment, as well as what the animal weighs. By combining all of the data from each meal, you're able to see the feed efficiency of the animal, how much it eats and how much it gains from that food that it has eaten. By factoring this into the genetic selection process, the genetics companies and the producers are able to become more efficient, to feed less feed to gain the same amount of marketable animals there.
Yeah, the feeding information is important for the growth cycle of the animal. Right now, majority of the information or data is collected for the breeding cycle for the female and how her litter size, how her health is, as well as her number of litters that she has had. That's where a lot of the data is being retained. However, we have been working diligently to incorporate the animal tracking all the way through the growth cycle from nursery to finishing so that all of the information, if there's any medication or any changes in that animal's health, is tracked with that animal all the way up to the packing plant. As these animals are raised in a production facility, keeping track of their nutrition as well as any treatments of medications or diet changes is really important, because as the animals approach market size, they often have some withdrawal periods for certain types of treatment that are necessary to be tracked. And if you have the technology and the animal ID, you can keep track of where they are in their growth cycle, so that the quality and the health of the meat that's being introduced to the food place is meeting all of the government requirements.
There's the challenges of raising the animals in an acceptable way for the marketplace. There's an even bigger challenge of raising the animals in a profitable way, so that the producers are able to produce the animals to stay in business, and they do that by remaining profitable. By increasing the efficiency of the operations through our technologies, the producers are able to see this on their bottom line, that they have become more profitable from this.
Keeping track of the animals is important on these farms for two reasons. One is to know where they are and to know when they need to be moved to a certain stage of their growth development. There's a whole process of animal movements that take place on swine production facilities, such that when the animals are mature and ready to be taken to slaughter, that they are all in the proper place and loaded out at the proper time. So knowing where the animals are location-wise is very important, as well as how old and how much they weigh and what type of animals you're dealing with.
In the swine industry in particular, science plays a very strong role throughout all of the production chain. Scientists are involved at the genetics companies in selecting the best animals to continue on to be the parent animals going to their customer farms. Scientists are constantly researching the nutrition for the animals, the different rations that people are to feed their animals, to find the most effective rations based on the ingredients that you have available in your area. Likewise, in the swine equipment area, science also plays a very strong role. We, about 30 years ago, or 25 years ago, Osborne Industries built our own research farm, research and demonstration farm, where we could test our new ideas as well as test our existing products and compare them to other products available in the industry and develop products that we've proven to work, as well as the procedures and processes in order to implement these on the farms. During the time that we were operating the farm in this way, we researched many new ideas and included many of our factory workers and our office workers in helping to do the research and to understand what it is that we do in designing equipment and manufacturing equipment to provide to our customers. The scientific approach benefits the end consumer by increasing the efficiencies of the farms, as well as to increase the consistency of the product coming from the farms. All of this translates to a more uniform product in the supermarkets at a lower cost.
Technology that is used in some production facilities provides the farms some advantages, because they are able to do either some genetic improvement or selection so that their animals are more efficient and that they grow faster and that they perform better, and they also have better cutout values when they go to the market. Without that type of information, they are essentially just selling what they have, and there's no additional value. However, there are some markets that value the ability of knowing everything that has happened to a particular animal with treatments, medications, or of course no medications at all, and a proof that these animals have never had a medication. There are specialized markets for that type of meat quality. And keeping accurate records is very important to proving to the consumer that these animals have been antibiotic-free and medicine-free, and consequently it adds value to that particular animal. Now, we have been focusing on a concept where the large-scale animal production facilities are much more automated than they are today, reducing labor, improving animal health, as well as reducing the stress on the animals as they move. Because every time you move an animal, there's stress that affects their growth and affects their health and well-being. And we want to make sure that the farm of the future has as animal-friendly environment as possible. And by applying technology, we believe this is possible to prevent any abuse or activity that doesn't promote good animal welfare. The importance to having animals in a large facility, growth production facility, is important to keep the animals comfortable and cycling through without stress, without any fighting and injuries, and in a very pleasing environment, both from a penning application as well as a ventilation, providing them fresh air, keeping them warm, as well as cooling them off in the hot summer days. Farms are very concerned about animal health and well-being, and taking care of those animals so that they will be productive in their facilities is key. So the technology allows the managers of these farms to manage these animals in such a way that they do stay comfortable, that they are not stressed, and they do produce the animals' qualities that are needed for the marketplace. Even within our technology, we have adopted a lot of animal-friendly methods where the animals are raised in groups together instead of pinned up in cages. And that is primarily owing to the fact of technology that allows us to collect data of those animals individually, but yet let them live corporately among each other and exercise, and that produces better piglets, more healthy piglets, and also keeps the mother sow, the mother animal, in good condition as she goes through her breeding cycles.
Modern agriculture is a high-tech business. We hope today's show helps illustrate that. On behalf of the Real Ag crew, I'm Kyle Bauer, and this has been Real Ag.
Production of Real Ag is made possible by
The Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by farmers.